Okay, so the next knot we're going to tie is a bowline. So what we want to do to know about the length of the line that we want to use is we want to measure a square. So what we can see here is we've got the same length of line between both of my hands and on the left side of the rope here. And we want to hold this between our thumbs and forefingers. What we then want to do is slide our right hand up to our left. So we slide that up, keeping our left hand where it is, and we want to form a loop. What we do to do that is we rotate the rope, forming a small loop with this line on top. Okay? With the loop formed, we want to then clamp that between our forefinger and our thumb, and that's going to stay for the rest of the knot. We're then just going to run through some names. So this, we're going to nickname our rabbit for this knot. We're going to nickname this our hole, and we're going to name this bit of the line the tree. So what the rabbit does is he wants to come up the hole. He's going to come up the hole, and we want to leave a nice big loop here. If we pull this too short, then the knot won't work. We want to come up the hole, round the back of the tree, so round here, and then we want to go back down the hole, so right next to that rope. When the knot's completed, what we can see is there are two bits of line here next to each other, and we have what we nicknamed the tree down here. And we want to hold on to these two, hold on to the tree, and then pull nice and tightly. And that's your bowline. Okay, so one of the uses of a bowline is to tie onto a cleat. So what we can do is we can loop our bowline around the cleat. So we can see that actually we've gone over both horns of the cleat. We can load tension onto this. The other thing we can do is we can secure the loop by going through the hole in the middle and through both sides. This is how we quite often tie on lines to the cleats, especially if they're on your boats. And then one of the other things we can do is actually tie onto this cleat. So instead of having a loop, we can tie onto a bar, and we can tie onto something like a D-ring with a bowline. And the way to do that is doing exactly the same knot as before. So we measure our square, the same length on that left-hand side as we do between my fingers. We slide my right hand up to my left hand and make that loop, again with this part on top. This is really essential. With our rabbit, we just go round a bar. But then we do exactly the same process. So it still goes up the rabbit hole, round the back of the tree, and back down the rabbit hole. And we still have these two ends that we've got together, bits of the rope, bits of the line, sorry, that we're going to put together, and we're going to pull on the tree. Okay, so what we're now doing is we're pulling on this line. So we're putting this line under a lot of tension. And one of the also big benefits is that although it's very hard to untie this knot under tension, because you can't get any of it loose, what you can do is when that tension's released, you can break the back of the knot. And what we can see is when we went round the tree here, if we push that down, so we push this part down towards the tree, then that actually loosens the knot massively, and then we can untie the knot, and that will release the knot.